Let me first thank the Legal Era for inviting me in this conference. This is a very important conference where we are connecting the legal fraternity to the IT world. And there can be no better time when data is becoming a key driver and internet is becoming, or digitalization is becoming, the central force for the that will drive the economy of the future. So very important and apt time, and I think there's a lot of importance why a legal conference like this should talk on this topic. As my Ashish has already said that in the COVID eras that we are going through, digitalization has become a central driving force for the economy, central driving force for providing and provisioning anything and everything that can has to be provided in such difficult times. We are also looking at India to be a $5 trillion economy by 2025, where the $1 trillion contribution has to be from digital economy, and that's what we says. And what I see right now is that there cannot be any other way by which the contribution of the IT industry or the IT can grow from 8 to 20% than in the present times. The $1 trillion economy is going to happen, but the key point is that whether what will be the contribution of Indian companies and Indian ecosystem in this $1 trillion economy of that we are seeing in the next 5 years, and how the government, industry, and the civil society will come together to make it happen in where there is a least friction between the various entities and where we are actually providing maximum value to Indian uh, industry as well as Indian citizens. So this, with this small introduction, that what I try to say, that for India, digitalization provides an unprecedented opportunity to create a new and inclusive and sustainable growth models. Why I say this? Because digital is the only means which can actually deliver the benefits of technology to the last mile. Internet has been such a great invention of the mankind or the humankind, where the last person on this earth or the last person in this country has an access to what is good and what is bad um, in a society that is happening. The services of the government can reach seamlessly to the rarest of and that we actually observed during the COVID times, where the benefits that the government provided could flow because of two very factors: that every Indian today has a unique digital identity called the Aadhaar. Every bank account today is digitalized, and and most of the Indians have got a mobile phone, which is either can be a smart or a non-smartphone, but most of the Indians, or 95% of the Indians, at least have one mobile phone accessible to them. So what we are seeing today is a very different model in India, where the digitalization is not around consumer centric, but around citizen or developmental centric, where the citizen or the bottom of the pyramid is the enabling factor for digitalization in India, where the problems of all other sectors of economy, which have been very important to this country, are actually being impacted by digitalization, and their future growth story actually revolves around that. So if we are looking at digitalization, we are looking at digitalization, how does it impact the logistics sector? How does it impact the healthcare sector? How does it impact the agriculture sector? And how does it impact the common citizen of this country? And that is the driver for digital economy, and which is very different from the Silicon Valley models that are there and that have been adopted. as the drivers of digital economy for the last 20, 25 years. And that is the difference. And if we are the biggest country which is a consumer of all these non-digital uh, economic factors, then we are the country that will provide solutions for these non-economic factors, and that will drive the digital economy. The key factor in this that is that how do we provide them? How do we make them robust, low cost, and inclusive? And how do we actually handle the key issues of privacy, the key issues of data enablement, and enabling data for innovation for everyone to participate? As you might all be aware that India embarked on a journey of what we call as a digitalization model through public digital platforms. Take, for example, two very important public digital platforms which we all have been part of. First, our unique digital identity called Aadhaar. And second is our unified payment interface. What these two did was to democratize the process of digitalization. Aadhaar provides a seamless authentication to each and every person, irrespective of him onboarding a particular platform, whether proprietary or whether provided by the government, whether provided via outside agency, or whether provided via an Indian entity. The UPI, what it did is democratize the digital payment ecosystem where the banks, the mobile, and the evolving fintech world all can come together on a single enabling gateway called the UPI or the BHIM. What it did is it actually did not allow monopolization of all these in hands of few people. In India, we have more than 25 digital payments or mobile apps or that are there and have got an equal level playing field to work on because of this, because of the UPI. The second point what I want to drive is that the pandemic has actually changed the world. The pandemic has shown us one thing is that what we need to do is to enable mechanisms by which things can be done differently, things, the speed can be faster, and the speed, and there is not much of public interconnect between them. If we take, for example, the future of healthcare, the future of inclusive healthcare, then I think the challenges on the healthcare sector, which the pandemic or which the future of this world is, then I think the digital health will become a key enabler for providing good healthcare to all. At the same time, if we think about looking at education sector, it would have missed the bus. Many of our children would have actually been left out of the of our education systems if digital would not have been done. Most of the students today are sitting at home working on the internet and being provided a quality health, education through this mechanism. The key point that I want to drive in this is that all these needs new, innovative, and a very uh, uh, a thinking which is apt with the present times. The Indian strong tech startup ecosystem with more than 50,000 startups, more than 60 odd unicorns in today's world are actually providing this necessary platform, and government has provided all necessary support, whether in terms of supporting um, the young startups through seed stage or incubation facilities, which the Mighty's Tide scheme or the next generation incubation scheme is providing, whether providing some seed capital through various schemes like the Sashakt and others, which the government of India is running, or whether providing an enabling environment for them to actually take capital from the fast evolving venture capital ecosystem. Zomato is one example where there have been a policy shift, and even small, young, evolving companies can come up with an IPO and actually have an access to public money for their growth. And this is a great enabler which the SEBI and the finance has brought in. And I think that will change the way the startup ecosystem will grow in this country. I firmly believe that technology companies will be the future of our economy. And when we looked at the past of growth of our 75 years of our journey since independence, the next 25 years will be a very fast rate growth. And the key contributors in this growth will be these evolving tech startups that are actually fast evolving. The next point I want to drive is, because this is a legal fraternity, is on the concept of data privacy and the data provisioning. India is in the process of enacting a data privacy or the data protection law called the data. The key concept of this protection is that the citizen has got the right to its data, and that is the key central driving force around which the provider himself is empowered to see what and where to actually give rights to his own property. So data, the property, basically belongs to a citizen who is providing them. The second important factor is that these public digital platforms do not make data as a monopoly for one or few players or few proprietary platforms, but actually provides a independent enabling environment where data for innovation is available for all. The public digital platform becomes a single place where data actually aggregates, and everyone has got a chance to actually provide that. NPCI already has come out with the sandbox around the fintech data, and many other ministries and departments will actually provide sandboxes and data access to innovators to actually build technologies over it, and thereby democratizing the process of innovation, which is very important for a society to grow. The last thing that I want to touch upon in this important forum is that if we look at a concept of where digitalization becomes a central driving force, then how do we actually connect the non-tech sectors with the tech sectors? What I feel is this country is a country of jugaad. This country is a country where grassroots innovation happens every day and every time in every village and every city. This is a country where people have lot of problems to solve, and they in their own way try to ease their life. The important thing is that if a good idea or a good grassroots innovation is there, how do we actually scale it up to provide those goods to all? The digital, when combined with grassroots innovation, actually brings a lot of social empowerment, and that is what is important. And our common service centers or village level entrepreneurs are actually, which are more than 3.5 lakhs at present, are there to actually look at that how does grassroots innovation becomes a mass movement through digital means, and that is very important. I once again thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to talk to this very august gathering. Look forward to the discussion for the future. Thank you.